We'll go straight to Florida, where we still have Professor Sadiq Abdullahi, and here in the city of Lagos, where we have Eniton. And we're changing from the death of Pele to review of Nigerian sporting moments in 2022. So much to talk about in the year 20. Mixed feelings, but which of them stands out for you, Eniton, in the year 2022 in review?
Basically, two major events stands out for me for 2022, and of course, undoubtedly, that will have to be Toby Amuson's feat from the World Championship to the Commonwealth Games, world record for her. It was an amazing year, and she was flawless, like a queen that she is on the track, jumping the hurdles one after the other with such rhythmic vibes that echoes an athlete with perfection in a state of perfection, and she continues to grow over time for every race she attended, even up to the Diamond League. And of course, I'll talk about the curling team. A country of no snow, no problem. But the young curling team of Nigeria making it to the Winter Olympics, and fortunately for them, it's happening in next Youth Olympics is happening in Senegal, on the continent of Africa. Those two moments stand out because it tells the story of young Nigerians who never give up despite the shortcomings of our administrators. Because year in, year out, the administrators always fall short, basically for Nigerian athletes and for Nigerian sportsmen and women. And yet, we tend to find these young athletes who, out of that roughness, out of that sadness, out of that shortcoming, they step up to the plate and not just do well. They put Nigeria's name on the global map. With what we saw in an interview before, just after Imagine World Best in 100 meters hurdles, I'm also talked about almost giving up a year earlier because of how she had to get loans to be able to perform, to be able to pay her coach and everything. And we saw basically that everything later worked for her, but she could have given up if she had allowed Nigeria to happen to her. The calling team had little or no support from the sports ministry to the NOC. They gathered themselves, and now they are going for the Olympics. So for the Youth Olympics, that tells you a lot about how important these two feats are for Nigerian sports.
Okay, before I come to you, Professor, I'd like to welcome a sport administrator who is joining me right in the studio. Ufama Daniel, it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Mr. Shitu.
Yes, what's your highlight of Nigerian sporting moments, whether positive or negative, in the year 2022?
Obviously, if you watch the last from January to December, we failed to qualify, from the round of 16 in the Nations Cup in Cameroon. So it has been a disappointing, for Nigerians, and then for the football in our country. So we hope maybe in 2023, the Super Eagles will soar higher, and then we can achieve more results in 2023. We're looking forward for that.
Okay, straight to Florida. Professor!
Yes.
Professor Sadiq Abdullahi, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry that I'll let the world know that it's 3 a.m. in Florida. We appreciate your time and for really coming out in the middle of the night to speak to us. So your sporting moment in 2022, disappointing moment, what would that be?
Well, it's always an honor to be speaking to Nigerians and the world from Miami at any time. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to add to what Enitana Obadina said, which is the most significant achievement of 2022 is, of course, the defeat of Amusan and then AC. To add, to that, absolutely, from the athletics field, right? Okay, so there are other sports too that marginally made some contribution in 2022. On one hand, when we're talking about competitions, when we're talking about results, right, and we can see where the results were obvious, right. On the other hand, 2022 also was significant in terms of the legislative, executive, as well as judiciary aspect of it. What do I mean by that? Again, the national sports industry policy came to life in 2022 after several years. Again, in the legislative, we see that the National Sports Commission bill has moved from one house to the next, right? And then, of course, in the judiciary, right, we see in 2022 less cankerous, bitter court cases. All of those were either almost nothing. So we have to put both together in order for us to have a big picture of what 2020 looked like as we prepare to go into 2023.
Okay, Professor,
the lessons learned. Go ahead.
Professor, yeah, because of our time, we also have a report on the 6 disappointing moments of Nigerian sport in 2022. And when we come back from this report, we round up the show as we appreciate your time, both Eniton and also you, Professor Abdullahi Sadiq, and not forgetting in the studio with me here, Ufoma Daniels. But let's look at this report compiled by the Sport Index of Plus Sports Crew.
The sports fraternity welcomed 2022 with a great deal of optimism for an improved fortune for sports in Nigeria, but not all expectations and desires were met. So, Plus TV Sports takes a critical look at the 6 disappointing moments in Nigeria sports for the outgoing year 2022. Without a doubt, Nigeria's failure to qualify for the Qatar 2022 World Cup is one of the biggest disappointments of 2022.
This decisive World Cup qualifying playoff between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana.
Aside from missing out on the unquantifiable excitement of Africa's best performance ever at the Mondial, the huge loss in revenue to Nigeria's sports industry is massive. Nigeria lost the World Cup ticket to Ghana on the away goals rule.
It's in well, it's gone in under the goalkeeper. And Thomas Partey gives Ghana the lead here.
Just like the World Cup miss, round of 16 exit at 2022 AFCON hosted by Cameroon was a tremendous disappointment, especially after the team had shown so much promise in the group stage, winning all 3 matches. Their exit marks the Eagles' first failure to reach the AFCON last 8 since 1984. The Nigerian national women's football team's influence in Africa has dwindled over the years, and it was completely eclipsed at the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Though the Falcons achieved the target of qualifying for the World Cup, but failure to win a medal in Morocco after being defeated by Zambia in the 3rd place match is tied for the Falcons' worst record at the tournament. Blessing Okabari.
It's because of our time, and we'll not be able to take the full report of 6 disappointing moments in Nigerian football. But this is what we call it, right? But let's go straight to Florida and where we are here in Lagos to thank Eniton Obadino for giving us your time.
Cooperate with
Pleasure to talk sports with you.
Yes, Professor Sadiq, I promise you that later in the evening we'll see we'll come back to you to talk more on all this. But thank you for your time as you are awake 3 a.m. in Miami. Thank you very much for your time.
It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And let's come home here. One word before we round up. No time, Ufoma Dano, because I didn't give you a lot of time because of those online. What should we be expecting 2023 in words?
Yeah, 2023, I think we'll be expecting a better days ahead for Super Eagles of Nigeria. And then the under-17 team playing in Algeria for the qualifier for the World Cup. We hope they can do better to qualify for the World Championship. So that is my
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Thank
what
you.
I love.
Thank you very much, Ufona Daniel, a sport administrator, a very, very respected one. And that's how we take on today's program. Thank you very much for watching. Same time next week, we'll be giving you all what you need to know in the world of sport. I still remain Mudashiru Shitu. Thanks for watching.